Ever since I created the Ophaur, I've wanted it to be as real as possible. The Ophaur has gone through many renditions, but I've always felt a little dissatisfied with every result. But since the channel was approaching 1,000 subscribers, I decided I need to get a little bit more serious. And so I'll be making alterations to various aspects of the Ophaur, in a mission I call Making the Ophaur Real. And for the first part, the Ophaur is going to go through a major redesign. Disclaimer, this is going to be a revision of the Ophaur's anatomy and ecology. These revisions may also happen to Ophaur ancestors and relatives. What I'm not doing is making the modern Tales of Alien series more realistic, although I will get a rewrite someday. After all, who doesn't like? The thing that made me realize the Ophaur needs a complete and topical do-over was recreating what was originally going to be the official Ophaur skeleton. You can check that out in the community post section. I finished it quite a while ago and it was supposed to be for a detailed video on Ophaur anatomy. Admittedly, the skeleton looked a bit off throughout the process, but the real reality check was when I was trying to place the organs. The problem wasn't that I was generally terrible at drawing skeletons, the problem was that the Ophaur proportions didn't make as much sense as I thought they did. I found out a lot of helpful facts while doing the research required to make the skeleton, which was very helpful when I was making the drawing you see here. The experimentation I did that involved drawing the Ophaur without hair or ears was also very helpful. As you can see, before I did anything in this drawing, I drew the Ophaur without hair because there is in fact a hairless wrinkly animal under all that fluff. You can also notice that the inside of the spots and stripes on the Ophaur are now filled as opposed to the originally hollow ones. With every Ophaur redraw I do, I experiment with the patterning because I think it could look better. The little specks between spots were a feature I kept adding and removing with each redraw, so the inner portion of the markings are the only real change. And that one change makes the Ophaur look so much more natural. I love it. I find it kind of funny that even after all the changes in proportions the Ophaur went through, those original sprites I made for the subspecies and color variation videos ended up being the most accurate to what I imagined the Ophaur's anatomy to be like this entire time. But then I asked myself the question, do I update the markings for these sprites to fit the new pattern? And the answer is no. The Ophaur pattern you know and love is staying in the form of simplified art. It just won't be how it canonically looks in person. If I'm depicting the Ophaur as it exists, I will use its canon markings. Of course, this decision is always subject to change. Overall, I am far happier with this Ophaur than all the other Ophaur redraws I made over the existence of this channel. It finally looks like the animal I've envisioned it to be. See you next time. The next video is probably going to be about revising the Ophaur skull.